No, the show just ends. Fade into black. Hey, everybody, it's the Tuesday. I forgot how to do the show. Oh, my God. Everything is falling off the rails. If you're watching the video, I'm turning pink. I don't know what's going on. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 871, December 17th, 2024. This might be the last live Bombcast of the year, actually, now that I think about it. After right. I'm going through the schedule in my head. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast. As I said, we are powered by the holiday spirit, and that holiday spirit is compelling me to tell you that my name is Jana Cho, joined as always, co-captain of the ship. He's got a list and he's checking it twice, and he doesn't fucking care if you're naughty or nice. He's still gonna give you a bag of bricks. Jeff
That's
Grow.
right. Howdy, everybody. The pink is coming for me now, Jan. I'm getting pretty scared. I was looking at the live feed. It's come for me in Ohio.
What is happening?
The pink is coming for you. I listened to like a couple 80s songs on the flight home, and now I'm just feeling it and everything. Yeah. Speaking about feeling it, he's always feeling it because he's a man of the people. He is soft and hard at the same time. Dan Reichert.
That's correct. SAWFT. How much of the old Enzo intro could you do?
It's funny because I was for some reason I had it stuck in my head this morning a little bit. What a weird coincidence. And I was like, I should do a bit with that today. And then I'd be like, no, people don't like Enzo, rightfully so.
I just need like maybe the first word.
Bona fide stud. You can't teach that.
You can't.
This is Big Cass. He's 7 feet tall,
and you can't teach that.
Bada boom.
Realest guys in the room. How you
doing?
Yeah.
We should start doing that, Dan.
Let's take it from Enzo.
Yeah, walk into the JW and do that. Yeah.
The sandwich.
The sandwich is 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you can't eat that.
We'll write it down for next year.
Okay. And joining us as always, the baddest boy in games media from GamesBeat, Mike Minotti.
Hello, it's me, Mike Minotti, and I'm mad that you guys wasted food, and now I'm mad that people ate the food, and now I'm mad at just the idea that you disrespected people with food.
I love the 1, 2, 3 there. I saw that too, where it's like, we poisoned people with food because they ate it, but also they didn't eat it, so we wasted food, and we did it because we hate developers and want to make them look like fools. Man, they must have heard our meeting about the sandwich bit.
Yeah. But everybody there seemed to like it all a lot.
Everybody was really happy about it.
Yeah, it's also not like we supported a local business and probably maybe funded them for the rest of the week.
Yeah,
perhaps.
That's not how that works.
Assholes when you think about it. Yeah.
What a bunch of jerks. Anyway, I thought it was a very good bit. We should go bigger next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you think people would have been less mad if it wasn't just turkey subs?
Well, more variety.
They were, because I ate a good chunk of it during our watch along or before it, and it was dry. But I that was a decision. I said just meat, cheese, and lettuce because being considerate of those developers, I was like, they're going to be wearing suits. They're going to be walking in to a awards show. I don't want a bunch of sauce and shit leaking out and getting on their fancy clothes. So that's why they were pretty dry.
We were so considerate then.
We were, absolutely.
It's funny because I found a baggie full of chopped up tomatoes and a giant vat of mustard afterwards. And we're like, who brought this to the JW? Only to realize, this was meant for the sandwiches.
It was on the side in case people wanted to indulge there. Yeah.
We should have started giving those away as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That was just up in our room.
Folks, this is we're back. We did the Game Awards, the countdown to the Game Awards pre-show stream last week. We also did GB at Night last week. Fantastic job hosting as always, Grub.
Thank you.
And we also did some other things. We recorded some pods, some Game of the Year podcast deliberations that will go up over the holiday Bricky break.
I thought they went great.
Yes,
me too. It was
I
a really
was
good
very
time.
happy with all 4 days of that podcast. I think people are going to enjoy listening to those.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. To people like getting a chance to listen to it, hang out with us. Yeah, it was a good time.
It's we have found a way to make remote podcasting really work and keep the dynamic nice and tight, even when we throw everyone in there when we have like a gigantic pod for like a special occasion. But it's nice to see and feel that whole dynamic carries over almost tenfold in person, where it's a bunch of idiots together.
Well, and I think the really remarkable thing is we went back to the old style. So Eurovision played well for the the visual of the graph and everything for the live shows, but we went back to like just the arguments or the debates and things like that we used to do. And goddamn, if there weren't 9 of us, and we all, I think we did a fantastic job. Everyone getting their shit in. Wasn't a lot of talking over each other or anything. Not arguments or anything. This is a crew this is a well-oiled machine here.
Yeah, I was a little surprised Skull and Bones won, but otherwise it went really
Mike,
well.
what the fuck? Mike, what the fuck?
God damn it,
Shit,
Mike!
shit,
Fix it in post.
sorry.
Okay, well, I mean, only 2 people wound up crying after the recording, so that's better than normal, right?
Oh yeah. Huge improvement.
Any other standouts or highlights, fun memes from the trip?
Jeff and Sean and I went to Universal for a day.
I really regretted not going with y'all.
It was fun. We got that bonus pass. You get there an hour early, so you can do the Nintendo stuff before the people. So, like with that, we were able to knock all of that stuff out and get our Toadstool Cafe reservation. I was able to even do I didn't do Toadstool before. I didn't do like the Bowser Jr. challenge thing before, because usually in the middle of the day, that stuff even has a line. And it's just like, bump a block and, get a key, and then you go inside a tunnel and you play a Connect game. Yeah. But it was fun to just do without a line. But yeah, like those first 2 hours are so important. You get so much stuff done. We got everything in that lower lot: Transformers, Jurassic World, Mummy. And then throughout the day, we did basically everything in that park, including some special Christmas stuff that's going on, like a Hogwarts kind of light show. And they had a Grinch little stage show thing too. All a lot of fun. It was a great time.
Lovely.
I was going to change my flight and go. And the night before, I was like, all right, I'm going to decide how I feel tomorrow because it's been a long week. If I feel like I have the energy, I will meet them at the hotel at like 6:30 or whatever to go to Universal. But if I'm not feeling up for it, me and Backler will go to the pantry and get some breakfast. I woke up and felt like such shit. I was like, I am sleeping in until the second I have to go to LAX. And I just flew home.
Yeah.
So,
No,
it seemed fun. I was jealous of the photos and stuff, but I've been there before. Yeah.
Sure, we'll go again, Dan. Don't worry.
I want to go again next time, but this was like, looking back, it was like the craziest week in terms of like busyness and shows that Giant Bomb has ever done in terms of doing like, basically the whole Game of the Year thing, which every year that was always the biggest thing we had to do. It was, E3 and then Game of the Year. But we basically did like all of this and more. Like that fucking, like the pre-show was the biggest production we've ever been involved with, ever.
Totally.
This crew, previous crew, like I've never seen anything like this.
Real quick, Dan, to like talk about production-wise, the control room was 40 minutes away in Culver City. So we were like beaming from the cameras straight to an actual control room where John Luke was helping them switch and TD everything. Yeah. Wild shit.
Grub and I had a couple producers, like, I had one producer and Grub had another, Grub for his Man on the Streets, mine for my game show bits. And we got lunch with them and we're talking with the producers. They were the fucking producers that did the YouTube pre-show with Norm. The fucking big, all the stars are here. Yep. They were the ones who did that. And we got to talk to I just talked Norm stories with them the whole lunch and further. Like, they were awesome. There was something, and they also were the producers on Norm's YouTube show. So it's just like nonstop Norm talk and everything. It was just fantastic.
That's cool.
It was amazing because like Dan's like, hey, have you ever seen it? And they're both like, yeah, we produced the show.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, my producer was the one that bought him the sweatpants that look like jeans. He's like, yeah, I went to the store and bought those for him. I'm like, this is incredible.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I want to make sure there's no stolen valor or anything. I had nothing to do with that pre-show, but I want to say that you all did a fantastic job with that. It was really fun just to watch you all.
Thanks, Mikey.
Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, it was just the craziest week I've ever seen a giant bomb in terms of just sheer amount of shit we were doing, and it all went great.
Yes.
Yep.
So again, for folks that were able to cache it, I suggest you go back and watch it as well. The slot car bit was not working at all during any of the tests.
I know. We tested the track was falling apart, cars were falling off the loop-de-loop, all that.
Yeah, but like in the actual run of it, I just remember just standing there with Nikki, just looking in awe of like, it's working.
It's working. Perfect.
It's working.
Yeah. Both cars are working. Neither one fell off a single time. It was crazy.
We had wardrobe and makeup people.
Oh my God.
Like, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay,
me and Mike had to go in there at one point before the GB at Night show, and I'm just like, we don't need to humor us here. It's fine. They just like put some stuff on our head to like make it not shiny or whatever.
Right. Meanwhile, like Tam was over on the side getting like his hair tied in like rubber bands, so it like got
little
right. And I'm really,
Yeah.
I think I got a placebo makeup put on me is all it was.
Shouts out to like our, I guess like our costume person, because she said I looked great when I came in, and then she was like, well, let me go steam your jacket. And then she looks at my pants, and the hem was a little too long because I just got it off the rack. And then she's like, here, let me go hem your pants. And I thought like, wow, you need me to take my pants off, or like you have like a small sewing machine? And then she pulls out like a little, what looks like a little staple gun, and then she just like folds my pants, and then she goes, and then they're instantly hemmed.
Oh,
I have no fucking clue how she did that. Amazing.
Wow,
Shouts
amazing advancements.
Yeah, they were all very impressive.
Yeah, everyone super amazing. Wow, it's cool when you work with cool people, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really know what they're doing and make you look like you know what you're doing. Yeah.
And now we can phone it in for the rest of the year.
100%. Yeah, that's right. I never want to press a button again. Also, special shouts out to like little Turbo Baby Sean, getting his shine on, asking some cues to a bunch of fine folk out on the LA Live streets and everything.
That was Sean's like first time at like one of these industry events in a row. Really got thrown into the deep end there and did fantastic.
Yep, that's right. Gosh, always fun seeing a bunch of people. I never stay out. I generally go to sleep around like 10 or 11. 11's the latest I'll stay up. I think I only got cumulatively like maybe 10 hours of sleep the whole time we were there.
A week. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. It was great to see people. Everyone
we
was
both
there.
slept for like 12 hours when we got back. I slept for 12 hours that first night and then was up for a few hours and took a 3-hour nap after that. It was
Hell yeah, me too.
I'm definitely still catching up. Yeah.
I got home on Monday. I was like, I'm going to stream tonight. It's been a while. And then like it was like 7 p.m. Like, no, I'm going to go to bed.
My very last day, because I think I was also supposed to go to the pantry with Backlar, but then I woke up and was like, I'm dead. I can't go.
Yep.
I look over to my side and Michael Heim's there.
Perfect.
And I forgot that Michael Heim needed a place to stay. I'm like, just stay in my room. It's fine. Like, I was really scared at first, but then it's funny. He was sleeping like an angel. He was sleeping looking like he was mid-dap. He was just like
his default like idle stance.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I left a couple candy bars and a sugar-free Red Bull for the boy for when he woke up. It was great.
Nice.
There you go. I was on 2 flights with Jeff, and I was hoping that he would have the opportunity to do the right thing and wait for me after getting out the plane. But fortunately, I think he may have done this by design. He was like always in the back row or second to back row, so I always got out first, and I was the one waiting for him.
But you did wait for me each time, so yeah.
Grub, your back row guy
right
too?
there.
I'm a back row guy on the plane. You too?
If like I can't get like relatively close to the front, then yeah, I'm just gonna go all the way to the back because I'm right there by the bathroom, and not that I had to go
there.
But yeah,
I feel like you kind of got it to yourself. More chance of like open rows and stuff. I'm always back.
More chance to be able to put the suitcase up in case it's like there's a bunch of people there. Yeah,
absolutely.
I always want back of the bus, back of the plane. I always like to be way back there.
For all those other things, I agree. But the plane, I don't like being in the very back for some reason. I don't know why. I like the closer to the front. Maybe it's because like in my stupid head, I'm like, well, they put first class in the front. So even though I'm not first class, the closer I get. And part of it is like, I do get antsy once the plane lands that I do want to get out of the plane, even though like I'm just going to wait for my luggage with everybody else, right? Like the sooner I get off the plane, the better.
Sure. I always hate the weird do-si-do where when you have a later boarding group,
You got to stuff your bags a little further back in the plane, and then you got to walk back to your seat, and then you're part of like the jumble of everyone standing up as soon as you land, and no one needs to fucking stand up as soon as you land because we're all going to get off the plane eventually.
Yeah, I'm kind of that person too, because again, I'm just get antsy. There was a new thing on the planes this time where, I have my backpack. I don't have a roller on for it, but I don't want to put my backpack under my seat because then I have nowhere to put my feet. So I put it in the overhead bins. This is the first time I heard them say, like, only the roller bags go in the overhead bins. If you have anything else, it's got to go under the seat. And you know me, I love to follow rules, right? Get very anxious when I don't. Even I was like, well, fuck that. This is going right over there. No
what
way.
was the thing that Minotti got really, somebody's breaking a rule and he got very nervous about? The thing you said you would have died at was, Nikki, you're in the chat. Nikki, can I talk about the bar?
I'm about to say.
Okay, Nikki says yes.
All right.
So, Minotti says he would have died if he was here when Nikki did this.
Yes.
It was after, for some reason, our bar closed at 8 p.m. on Fridays and Saturday nights, and every night it was never ever open. We get back to our hotel after the Marriott one night, and we all still want to have another drink and everything. Go back to the hotel bar. It's all dark. There's literally no one there. We sit down, and Nikki just walks behind the bar and is like, "Oh, the tap's still on." And Nikki just pours a beer and brings it back. And I was like, "Hell yeah, that's how you do it." And Mike heard the story. I would have died. I would have had to leave the room. You yelled at me once, right, Mike? Were you jaywalking or something?
Yeah, I think it's a jay. Well, I joke a little bit, but I'm like, I don't want to jaywalk. That's against the rules. People in chat are actually mad at me for putting my backpack in the overhead. You all are crazy.
No.
See,
like that's your bag. You're allowed to put something up there.
Everybody gets to put one thing up there. That's what it is. I don't care what it is. You can all put. If I put a roller bag and my backpack up there, yes, they'd be mad at me.
But why don't you have I have a bag full of things I want to use on the flight. You don't
I have stuff in that, but guess what? I just sleep. I just sleep on the plane. It turns out all I really need is my iPhone so I can start listening to a podcast for 15 minutes before I fall asleep.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole thing is just do it quickly. Whatever you do it quickly, because that's the only thing that matters. Is these people are just trying to get everyone on the plane. So if you want to put your stuff up, do it. Just make a decision.
Again. So there's still some people chat are upset at me. So if I had the same exact stuff, but I put it in a roller bag instead of a backpack and put it up there, and took up more space, then it would have been fine.
It's just like the roller bags have to go up there. They have to go somewhere. Those can't fit under the seat.
I'm with you, Mike. Don't worry. You're not weird for this one.
I got to put my feet somewhere, right? And the backpack takes up all that space down there. Absolutely no way. There's no way.
I spent my pre-flight time at Ludacris's airport restaurant, Chicken and Beer, and I had my second meal of chicken and waffles of the week, and they had Ludacris-themed cocktails like Splash Waterfalls and a bunch of beer, and so that got me all set for the flight, and then I just played Vampire Survivors.
I did the Lucy James special because I went to the Burbank airport, and I visited Guy Fieri's airport grill.
Nice.
Yep. It's exactly what you'd expect.
You had to do Burbank? Oh, well, I guess you're just flying to California. That's probably easier, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was so easy to get in and out of Burbank. Oh, my God. I didn't want to deal with LAX because I did the right thing this time, and I didn't book a stupid early flight that would involve me sleeping at LAX for a portion of it. Fantastic times. I think I've drank enough alcohol for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty covered on that. Yeah. It was like we were at Universal, and I needed a drink. It's like, well, Moe's is right here, and I needed like water or something. And it's like, no, I'll just go get a Duff Light from Moe's instead. I'm like, all right, this is gonna do the job a little bit, but Jesus.
Yeah, it's great times. Loved hanging out with y'all. It's funny. I was thinking, like, why does my voice hurt? But it's probably because of all the podcasting and the yelling and other debauchery.
Every time I start talking on here, my about 2 seconds in, some kind of phlegm comes up, and I gotta cough for a second. Then I can start talking like normal again.
Yeah, we're all wondering if we were sick. I don't know if anyone's been confirmed sick since we got back, or if we all just feel like shit from all the talking.
I'm just tired, and there's a little bit of that.
I got a cough, but that's about it. I feel the energy as soon as I got into this virtual room with you boys, though.
I never ate any of the, disease-riddled sandwiches, so.
Well, you should have eaten them because you wasted food. So
I keep
okay.
track.
Yeah. I gotta. This is something that's been bothering me since I've seen pictures of our sandwiches floating around.
Yeah.
Why is everyone starting from the middle?
That was, well, I guess because like it was a really bready sandwich. They all were, because I had an end piece and it was like a lot of bread. So I think if you start in the middle, then you can kind of get around that end piece nonsense.
Okay, all right. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And all right. Who am I? Who am I to
heard
judge?
stories of entire development teams coming back to rooms late at night and starving and just being like, "Oh my god!" Like seeing mystery sandwiches pop up in dev teams' rooms and it just like saving them.
Getting passed from one team to another, and like this game of telephone happening. I'm like, where did this come from? It came from Polish developers.
Yeah.
Like,
Most of the people you actually handed those to during the pre-show did return them, right?
Well, Dave Oshry ate some. That was I posted a video. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down there. I'm sure I'll see someone I know very quickly, and I can just hand it off to them. First person I see is Dave Oshry, CEO of New Blood, and I just put it in his hands and walked the fuck away. And then grab it. I think you actually came right on my heels and put another one on top.
Right on top of that, when he yells, "Giant bomb!"
Maybe I shouldn't yell "giant bomb" in the middle of a very crowded hotel lobby.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since, so who knows what happened to him. Yeah.
I think for folks that don't know, it wasn't one sandwich, it was 6 sandwiches that all got eaten.
Yeah, a lot of people I saw thought that it was the same sandwich over and over again. Like, no.
I was in all those pre-production meetings and stuff. I was talking to like producers and stuff, and they were like, "Well, we could probably do a thing where it was like we just get like a big styrofoam tube and we could wrap it to look like a sandwich." And I was adamant. I was like, "No, these need to be shoot sandwiches, and we need a bunch of them." They were using all the logistics that made sense. I was like, "No, it absolutely has to be the real deal."
They also barely fit in the Honda Civic that got sent to pick them up.
Put the seats down. The pictures that were getting sent were just killing me. Oh, that made me so fucking happy.
Great time. I think we put smiles on faces.
Yes, absolutely.
The two
consistent.
poor voice actors from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that you gave the sandwiches to, they just looked so like upset, but they were so polite because they didn't want to say anything.
Well, several people like Zach from Warframe, I gave it to him, and once the camera stopped rolling, he's like, "Okay, so do I like give this back to you?" I was like, "No, this is yours." Like,
Your problem
with
now.
that. Yeah, we saw like Vince Zampella holding it at one point,
Just randomly, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Jake Decker sent me a picture of like a sandwich being balanced on 2 planters outside of the JW.
Yep.
And then apparently a group of like dude bros like started taking pictures with it and just took it.
Yeah. I
back
gave
to
one to
Jersey.
Andy McNamara as he was walking into the thing, and he just started yelling and be like, "Fuck you, Dan! Fuck you! I'm gonna throw this away! I'm gonna throw it away!" He just set it down on the ground and walked away, and I had to go save it.
I saw another picture of it, like not behind the bar at the JW, but to the side of the bar,
The
tucked
side,
away.
like in the penalty box is what it looked like. Yeah.
This is how
Love
we
those
strike back
sandwiches.
against the JW. You don't give food. You charge too much for drinks.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna give it to the people.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, all right. I guess we'll talk about video games.
Wow.
$1,000 worth of sandwiches.
No, yeah, that was $155 each.
Every one of those was $155 with tax. It was like $1,000. I did
Yeah.
not expect them to approve that.
No, yeah.
Thank you, Digital Extremes.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and Monster Hunter and Capcom. Yeah.
All right. All your sponsors. I don't know.
Gosh, yeah. Also, shouts out to security not being that great for the second year in a row at the party to
Yeah.
decide the JW.
I love security that doesn't pay attention to things.
Yeah, great. It's great. Okay, all right. Video games. What do we have here? What are we talking about? Dragon Quest, Mike.
Oh, yeah. This was like the one game I played during the week. This is the first time I traveled without my Switch since the Switch came out, I think, because I was like, no. Turns out the only game I really want to be playing while traveling at the moment is Dragon Quest 3. And even then, I didn't play a ton. And when I was playing it, it was mostly just grinding. And Dragon Quest 3 is like the Mount Rushmore of fun games to grind in because of the way the job system works in that, where when you reach a certain level, you can change a character's job. But when you do, all their stats get halved. But it could still be gains depending on kind of, the way you do it. And once a character gets to level 1, well, then you got to go grind to get him kind of back up a bit. And there are a couple rare monsters with like rare, spawn percentages, but there's spots where they spawn more often. So you go there and you hope you kill them because they give you a ton of XP. So yeah, during some of the longer nights, But when I still wasn't quite tired, just sitting in the bed, playing some Dragon Quest 3 and hunting metal slimes while watching something stupid on YouTube was a very cozy time indeed.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I am debating with myself whether or not I want to try and finish off Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. But I spent too much time in RPGs this year.
It was a huge year for it, right? Like I'm an JRPG sicko, so like I'm okay, but even me, like a little bit. And there's a couple I missed out on still. I did not get to play Infinite Wealth. I did not touch Brothership. Just a lot going on there.
I shouldn't touch Brothership at all.
I mean, have you played all the other Mario and Luigi RPGs?
Mario and Luigi ones, yes. The Paper Mario ones, I haven't checked out all of those.
I mean, it's all right. Like the more I play it, the more I do get into it. Although I've put it down for other games, it's not. I mean, it's just not as good as some other Mario and Luigi games. Not really close in a lot of ways.
It's such a weird year for Nintendo. So I remember at the beginning, I was like, they're not going to have much this year. And then they had that one direct where they announced a bunch of stuff. It's like, whoa, they are going to have a great year after all. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, nah, a lot of that stuff didn't hit actually, or they didn't hit as much as I wanted it to. So yeah, definitely Nintendo's weakest year during the Switch era.
Yeah, I'm a big Mario and Luigi guy. I've liked them all at least, even the ones I didn't love, like Dream Team. This one, I just like it. I played like maybe an hour plus of it or something, and it just never. Something about the writing and the personality wasn't quite there. I thought it kind of looked like shit.
Doesn't look good. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Bummer. I have been checking out Bionaire. Bionaire talked about this a couple weeks ago when it came out with the Steam Next Fest demo. Fully out now. This is the pachinko adjacent game where you are, instead of controlling where the ball goes, you are just launching the ball. But what you are in control of is the different pegs that you place on the board. And these pegs have different synergies with each other. Some of them are super simple where you'll get like $100 if you boop it on your way down to exit the board. And some of them you will launch like another different type of ball once you boop it. And it quickly gets very zany because you will have like food-based builds or water-based builds or coin-based builds where if you boop a cash register or you boop a brick from the bottom, it'll launch a coin. And if those coins enter in a cash register peg, it'll just consume the coin ball, but it'll start granting like a passive coin or money bonus per launch that you do, and it can quickly get out of control. There have been multiple times where there's a lot of experimentation going on in like the early game, figuring out how these different pegs synergize with each other. There's a lot of movement based ones as well, so like if you wind up launching a ball and it completely whiffs and misses everything, there are different pegs or passive abilities that will just launch your ball straight back up through the map so you can potentially hit more things on the way out. Really fun game. The round to round different objectives you have or not objectives, but little bonuses you get. You can choose another set of pegs. You can choose to re-roll your different set of bonuses you get, or you have the ability to remove some pegs that aren't working out. It's a really fun game. In the full game, so far, what I've been able to tell is different. It's just like a different set of maps versus the one pyramid-like one that you got in the demo. Really neat game. I think the only delta for me is that it just makes me think of Peggle. I just want Peggle.
That was going to be my question. Is like, that's how I felt about a lot of these games so far, where I'm like, this is pretty good, but I think I'd rather be playing Peggle. So
I think I just need to like condition my mind to like steer away from Peggle because it hasn't really said or tried to message that this is like a Peggle like, because it is pachinko, right? Where the ball is just falling straight down. I'm interested to see like later play in the game where if there are different types of tiles or pegs that get unlocked that synergize better with each other. So far, I've been going with food-based builds where they're like, all right, I got some cheese, I got some meat, I got some lettuce, and then I hit an oven and like, all right, now we got a pizza.
I really thought you were going to say big sandwich.
No. They haven't unlocked the big sandwich meta in this game yet. They should really put the big sandwich in games.
Yes. Get with
what
it.
I'm saying. Yeah. Vampire Survivors, Dan, is it still good?
Yeah. In fact, after a lot of talks about games and stuff while I was in LA, I was like, all right, I'm going to download some games for the flight back. And I downloaded Bionaire and I downloaded Legacy of Kain Remastered. And I started Bionaire and I was like, ooh, I like this aesthetic quite a bit. I like the idea of this. Kind of like weirded me out that I couldn't control. Like I am used to Peggle, like, aiming and stuff. And it was like, okay, this seems cool, but I don't want to learn anything right now. I'm, drunk off ludicrous cocktails and, I just want to chill out here. So I load up Legacy of Kain. And I was, oh, this is pretty cool. Played like maybe a half hour Legacy of Kain. Was pretty impressed by what I saw. And I could definitely see like in the day how that was probably really, really awesome. But then I was like, nope, still don't want to be thinking, don't want to be doing anything new. So I load up Vampire Survivors and I beat it. Mike did a face. I was waiting for it. So I did everything. I've done every single unlock in the Castlevania DLC now. It took me over 50 hours. And I fucking loved it. And there is so much. I say it every time. There's just so much content in that DLC. I cannot say enough. If you haven't played Vampire Survivors, get it and all the DLC for like $10-$12, whatever the fuck it is. Right. It is just, it never gets old. I could play, like, I'm still going. I'm unlocking, like, because I'm on a new account now and I'm playing like all the like Among Us and Contra and the Moonspell stuff all again. And it's I don't think I could ever get tired of playing Vampire Survivors. So
it's funny. I never quite loved Vampire Survivors as much as you all. I definitely enjoyed it, but I love Castlevania, right? So I should probably pick this up just to play that. And I know there's like a ton of Castlevania content in there too, a ton of characters. It's not just a couple.
It's so much too, because it's like, I love Castlevania. I've played pretty much all of them, but it's like there's so many characters, and it's like, I remember like Alucard and the Belmonts and Dracula and stuff like that, but there's just like 40 characters or something nuts in there, and it's like I forget which one this guy's from. I'm googling them and remembering like, oh right, Portrait of a Ruined guy or whatever. There's so much going on there.
Yeah.
I did remember. Wait, I don't know, Jan. I just wrote something down. I don't want to take your segue. If you had a segue.
No. Please.
Okay. Astrobot Christmas. Any of you guys play it?
I haven't had a chance yet. I should have played that.
I might like save it for Christmas.
Sure.
Or something, maybe.
It's really good. It's bigger than the speedrun level for sure. There's like I think 15 presents to open and 7 bots, and then like a bunch of ship stuff and outfits and stuff like that. It's delightful. It's just a full-on Christmas Wonderland level, big tree with eyeballs talking to you and shit. I won't spoil anything, but it utilizes all of the different suits and stuff. So like, you'll be able to pick them up in the level and get a bunch of fun presents and stuff. And it's just full of whimsy, cheer, all the good stuff you want from Astrobot. It's really, really great.
Does it have Christmas Nights vibes?
I didn't play Christmas Nights, but we'll say yes.
Okay, good.
I really like the idea of saving it for Christmas. I'm gonna try not to see if I can get away with my kids not knowing about it until then, and then that could just be on the TV that day.
I think the gimmicks will really love this.
Oh
one.
Yeah.
We had talked about this during the Game of the Year deliberations. This isn't spoilers at all. But hey, did you know Rise of the Golden Idol is just on Netflix games on your phone?
Yeah, that's smart.
I had the same thing as Dan of like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to check this out as I'm at the Guy Fieri restaurant. And then I realized I don't want to think today.
No. Yeah, that's a rough one for that. That would be a bad time to start. You got to have all the time in the world and have not done anything else.
So it's super thinky,
it's a thinky game.
I don't understand how Netflix games works because there are several games there, not just games that seem like are published by Netflix, like Point P or there was another
Grand Theft Auto,
Monument Valley, but Grand Theft Auto's on there, and Rise and Case of the Golden Idol are over there that you just get along with your Netflix subscription. I have no idea. I don't understand business. I see Winning Universal here on the dock.
Yeah, I think it had to be said that we did the Mario Kart ride twice, and I won both times.
It's true.
You
were the best at that.
Got the most coins. I was the best at that. And then when we fought Bowser Jr., I had like the 5th best, for like a couple hours earlier in the morning, the 5th best score of the day. And then, but I also did better than Sean and Mike, which is more important, of course.
Yeah, you beat them, so that's important.
Yeah.
How are the lines? Because when I went with you, we couldn't even do the Bowser thing because the lines to do everything were insane.
Because like that was great about getting that hour early in there. There weren't lines for that, so for the or very small lines.
Like
I was much better then Jeff and Sean at the thing where you had to time the PAL blocks to hit a shell into a Koopa. And I did it first try, and they both just straight up failed at it. And then later, like, oh, it turned out it was broken. They tried to do my controller is broken on me.
I got back in line to do it again, and she's like, this is not working because Mike did it. Then a little kid did it, and I was right up after that little kid. And the little kid did it when the shell was still outside of the pipe. It was not in the middle at all. And so I'm like, I go up to do it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it like Mike did. I did exactly when he did it.
I have video footage of Jeff trying it. You can all judge for yourself how good his timing is later.
They shut it down right after that because after me, it stopped working completely. So they shut down the whole thing. Yeah. So me and Sean had to sneak in with 2 keys using Mike's 3 keys so that we could actually fight Bowser Jr.
Right. So yeah, your high score in Bowser Jr. was once again stolen valor from me.
Exactly.
I stuck you in.
Valor at a theme park. Yeah,
you believe it?
Never
my Bowser Jr. coins. Yeah.
We did pretty good at the lines in general. The one longish line we had to wait for was the Secret Life of Pets line, and that was maybe largely because of some angry boomers. We were in the line, and like first there was like one group of people who did the whole like, oh, excuse me, just like going past you in the line thing. It's like, yeah, okay. And then like 10 minutes later, another whole group was like, oh, excuse me. So clearly just cutting the line. They know that we don't like want to bother having to argue with them to get back in the lines or whatever. But then shortly after that, the line stopped for a while, and we're like, oh, what's going on? Then we moved forward, and we saw, 4 boomers talking to park security, trying to identify the line cutters, right?
Wow.
And they looked like they were so happy that they got to do that.
The line stopped for a very long time, like 10, 15 minutes of us kind of being like, what is going on? We're not moving at all. So they definitely made it worse for everybody by tattling on these people. It was like, this is why we didn't do it. No one actually cares that much. So, yeah. But they had a good time telling on someone.
Yeah. Guess what? Best attraction at Universal Hollywood? Still Waterworld.
Yeah.
Do they change it for the holidays at all?
No. A holiday overlay for Waterworld would be kind of incredible now that you say it. But
were they even spraying people like they got me?
Yes. No mercy.
That was so cold.
It ruled. It was very funny. I was wondering. They're like, no, if you're in these green seats, fuck you, and then they just sprayed them. It was great.
Oh my God.
I loved it. Oh God, yeah.
I think they do reskin it ever so slightly for Halloween, but during the evening shows. But I could be mistaken.
Oh yeah, they were doing some night shows, and part of me was like, oh, I kind of wish I could see Waterworld at night, right?
Well, that's
a different vibe.
You got to say that for the next time we all go there together. We got to. We'll plan it out as a family vacation.
There you go.
That tram tour was also. It's the first time I've done that. Or
hell yeah,
kid.
Is it Jaws?
Yes, Jaws did attack us.
Nice. Did Norman Bates
chase
you?
We did see Jaws. Yeah, Jaws explodes, or he attacks the boat. That's right. And then, all the other stuff was very cool.
The War of the Worlds plane? Is that still part of it?
War of the Worlds plane was there.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. We went through No Planned. There's the 3D tunnels for Kong and Fast and the Furious. Yeah. The Flash flood. Earthquake, the big one. I like that's like one of the older ones now. But I still love that. You just go into a fake subway tunnel.
I like any time where I was just sitting there and then a flood happened. That was just seeing that much water rushing toward you is neat.
Yeah, and that's why California is in a drought because of Universal Studios.
Yeah, Sean and Jeff marked out for Hill Valley, which was fun to see because I love Back to the Future also. And I'm desensitized to seeing Hill Valley now, so it's fun to be like, oh my God, it's a thing from that movie.
Need something stronger, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need a bigger hit, right? Gotta show me something from freaking Last Starfighter to make me feel anything anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was getting onto my flight, I was like, what if I just don't? What if I just stay here? What if I just stay in Los Angeles? The weather's like nicer than it is back home. There's a hell of food.
Oh, a bunch of people in LA talking about how freezing it was when it was like, what, 54 degrees or something?
9 degrees.
59 degrees. Meanwhile, I'm getting texts from Bonk being like, it's negative 20 right now back home.
I wore just a t-shirt the entire time. The one time I did get a sweater was at Universal while Sean and Jeff were doing Mummy because the Nintendo store had this amazing Mario-themed Christmas sweater. I was like, it's a little nippy, and this thing looks amazing. So I was very happy to pick that up.
You looked very sharp in that sweater.
Do you buy the wrist gimmicks?
Yeah, because we got a chance to do those short lines for the Bowser Jr. thing. We're like, we might as well just get them. And they had a new one, a gold Mario one. We all got that.
Yeah, nice. For all the new Super Mario Brothers 2 fans out there.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Of course.
Not my one, but yeah.
Kids can't stop talking about new Super Mario Brothers 2, though.
No, never. They never.
A lot of coins.
A lot of coins. Well, gents, I think that does it for the first segment. That does it for games and just general bants. Folks, it's a weird one, all right? It's the last live one of the year. It's okay. We're all a little bit tie-tie. Just like take a nap with us. And we're all gonna take a collective quick nap during this Bricky break. And we'll be back with maybe news. Maybe we'll just keep talking about random stuff. Who knows? Oh, that was a lovely nap. And then I couldn't help but hear, Dan, you were talking in your dreams about another game.
Yeah, I forgot to mention another one I played on the plane was Castlevania Dominus Collection. I loaded up, and I messed around with the GBA stuff because those are all great. And it's been a while since I've even touched the DS ones because it turns out those don't emulate that well because it was the DS. And goddamn, I started Dawn of Sorrow, and it's just. They just made a bunch more Symphony of the Nights, and that's a good thing.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Oh, and oh my God, there's something too I didn't even think about. Like, obviously, the Dominus Collection would be great to like all the touchscreen stuff. You could just do, through other means. You can do the buttons to do the seals and all that stuff. But I didn't realize how great it would be to have like the DS screens are over on the right. On this at all times. So like the map, you never have to hit select or anything to go to the map. It's just at all times, exactly where you're going. Yeah. And oh man, those Castlevanias, the portable ones where it's like you're killing the enemies and you get their souls, where it's like, oh, I killed a skeleton. Now I can throw skeleton bones. I killed this guy. Now I can float slower. Now I can spin the spear around. There's so many fucking weapons and everything. I forgot how great those games are. And I just want to play through them all again right now because Dawn of Sorrow has been awesome.
Oh, it's great. I had so much fun playing through all of those. Yeah, when the Dominus Collection came out, it's great because like they're all definitely Symphony of the Night coded, especially Dawn of Sorrow. But they're also all different in interesting ways. So playing through all three of them like in a row is still very interesting. They're also very good grinding games because you could just go through and whatever souls or abilities you happen to get, that's fine. But sometimes, like, I know this guy's got something I want, and you're just going to go back and forth on those screens for an hour till you get the one that you want, and that stuff tickles my brain. Probably sounds like hell to some people, but I love it.
Oh, it's
Did you play through all 3 of them?
Yeah, I went through all 3 of them.
Wow.
They're great. They're all great. They're all super fun. And they have different kind of quirks, and they have different levels of sort of Metroidvania-ness. The last one, Order of Ecclesia, is
Very
kind
different.
of more linear until the very end. Yeah, it is definitely more difficult too. Then at the end, that's when you get to a more open-ended castle, so that's super neat. Gosh, I just love that we have all 6 of those on Switch.
Yes.
We don't have Symphony of the Night on Switch, and that's wild. They should fix that. But it's great having these 6 there.
They need the power of the Switch too. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Actually, boys, before we get to the news, Jeff Grubb, if you can spare me,
Please.
anything y'all are excited to play during the holiday break?
Indiana Jones. Everybody was talking so much about how great Indiana Jones is throughout the entire week there. And I was holding up because I knew I had the big trip coming, so I didn't want to start it and then have a week off from it. I'm also probably going to stream my way through it. But boy, am I excited. I like Indiana Jones as a character a good bit, and this game sounds like it's going to very much be something I enjoy.
Yeah, I got back to it last night. Grub, I played through the stuff you were talking about as being like one of your favorite set piece things in a while. And I was like, yep, this is really fucking cool.
Okay, I'm glad it hit.
I'm in a new area
I love
now.
that.
I looked at a long play, and I think I'm like, looks like it's like 12 hours long, and I'm probably about 8 hours into it. So I think I'm kind of getting near the back part of it. I think it was during our podcast or something, we realized you could actually just travel back to any of those locations at any time. And I was like, oh, yeah, what do you know? There's a whole travels tab right here, and you can just warp back, because I knew I had some like medicine bottles that I didn't cash in. And so I went back to Giza and stuff. So yeah, that game's great. It's really, really fun. I'm going to beat it soon.
Yep, there's a whole bunch of games like that I want to clean up over the next week or so. I want to finish that. I want to finish Rise of the Golden Idol and make more time for Star Wars Outlaws. I'm going to do that, especially as we get into 2025. And a million more games will start coming out again.
Weren't you supposed to finish the 1,000-Year Door before the Game Awards? You told me?
I said that was number 1 on my list. I spoke fast. You probably just didn't hear me.
My bad. Thank you.
Yeah.
Grub, are you still going to beat my cumulative time on Astro by the time the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve? You and Vitelli talking big?
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I kind of want to check out Stalker 2.
Yeah, same.
Not the most holiday based game, but a lot of positive buzz. I kind of want to go back to and just tie off Space Marine 2 also.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, I wish we had time for more streams for that. That was a really good time.
Yeah.
I would love if we could squeeze in a Marvel Rivals stream this week.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
You know what I think we are squeezing in this week is some Terminator 3.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Right.
might
Might have numerous packages in the mail.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you said by
Wild.
Thursday I'm supposed to get the last part?
I think they should all be in by Thursday. I believe so.
Okay, I have a lot. Some of it arrived just in a clear bag, and I was like, "What is it?" Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I think I see the direction we're going here.
Pretty good idea where we're going with all this.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I've seen the
What are we
film.
gonna call that? Rikernator 3?
Oh, that's on you
Animator
guys.
3?
You got to figure it out. Oh, are you working with? We got to get the layout and stuff too.
Oh yeah. We need to re-up that and stuff.
I figure we don't need the box one. This is some behind the scenes talk. We don't need the hidden one because I know what the game is.
Yeah,
so.
you know
Yeah,
what it is.
right.
Okay.
You know what
cool.
the next 2 are.
Mhm.
I'll talk to Jeremy about that. See if we can get something happening.
Guys
Cool.
at the Jeremy as always. All right, Jeff Grubb news.
I missed it.
This is Jeff Grubb with the news. Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, I got a big list of all the stuff that was announced at the Game Awards last week. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they did the Game Awards last week in Los Angeles. We talked over it. That was a good time. There were lots of announcements. It was a very good show overall. This is kind of in no real sense or order, so we'll just start with this big one here at the top. Naughty Dog's next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, has been announced. No date on that, I believe. They didn't say a year or anything. But yeah, I thought that game looked pretty neat based on what we saw in terms of them setting a tone. How about you all?
Yeah, I really like that kind of 80s, maybe early 90s vibe with the spaceship. Stands out a little bit to some of the more familiar aesthetics we've been getting with sci-fi lately. And also, like, you're kind of wondering what game it is. We don't have a great sense of that, but at the very end, we got melee combat. I'm like, oh, I'm glad it's that and not another shooting-based Naughty Dog game. We've gotten so many of those recently.
Yeah, great.
I can't imagine how complicated the brand deals must have been for that. Because
Porsche, Adidas.
Well, think about it. They designed like a Porsche spaceship, and there's no way Porsche was just like, yeah, go to town. I bet like the brand people at Porsche had to like either design or approve a million things and back and forth, you know?
It'd be cool if there was like some mock-up like spaceship Porsche car designs from the 80s that they were able to use or whatever.
Yeah.
He says Porsche designed it themselves.
That
shit.
doesn't surprise me, but I
Neato.
just can't. There were so many like giant brands there that like that must have been a nightmare getting that all together.
I'm not 100% sure what the tone of the game is going to be because like that cinematic they had at the tippy top was like kind of like tongue-cheeky fun.
Irreverent, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the small gameplay bit they showed at the end was like, oh man, I'm gonna take down this mech with this sword.
Well, and then wasn't Druckmann saying stuff about like, oh, it's about the perils of religion, and it's like, oh god, wait, is this gonna be serious or like, are we gonna?
A bit rough.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing to do, huh?
Yeah, that's fun.
There was a bit where I was like, oh, this is probably the game that Druckmann's not making. It's another team's doing it. And I was like, oh, this is Druckmann's game. And I'm a little cautious.
And then
we'll see.
Kumail Nanjiani was like in like one of those like little wanted posters.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
There was I think it's a bunch of real actors, and so yeah, they'll bring in Kumail Nanjiani. It was I think the brand deals were surprising to see. It's like, oh, we'll wonder how they're going to be able to pull that off. But I thought it was all pretty well integrated. Like I was into the vibe it was putting down at the very least. So, yep. Hideki Kamiya's new studio, Clovers with an S, is working with Capcom on an Okami sequel. That was a pretty shocking thing to see.
Yeah,
it's called Okami sequel.
Yes,
I love it.
That's where we're at with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I just love this circle, right? Like you leave Capcom to have creative freedom, start your own studio. That studio gets bought by Tencent. You leave that studio, go back to Capcom to have more creative freedom.
This may be surprising coming from an old man, but I like the fact that Capcom and Sega appear to be going like, hey, remember all these old franchises we did? What if we kept doing those?
Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
Like Beautiful Joe is so on the table. At this point, I'll be shocked if we don't get a new Beautiful Joe in the next 5 years.
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
That's what'll happen.
Beautiful Joe, we need a Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Like Mega Man. No.
I'm not even like, I joke like, oh, they're announcing this instead of a Mega Man. I'm so not worried about a new Mega Man happening. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah, but I need my Mega Man, Mike. You and I could come
network
to Mega Man for different ones. I'm just ready to jack in.
I want.
You got your collection.
And it did very well. There's also like a very good chance we'll get another one of those. Mafia: The Old Country had a trailer revealed its protagonist and plot. Looked pretty good.
I forgot that too.
Yeah.
Was I getting drinks at that time or something?
Maybe.
I don't remember Mafia.
Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Do we think the Crossworlds means they're going back to, hey, we're going to all these different video games that Sega owns?
They better, because Sonic Team Racing was just so much less interesting than the Transformed games, which, it was like a big hodgepodge of Sonic and Sega IPs, and it was just really fun to do things like the Afterburner level with the Shinobi character racing through it. Especially, if they are so adamant about bringing all these franchises back, it'd be weird if at this point they didn't go that direction again. I hope they do, because Sonic and Sega Racing Transformed, whatever it's called, is one of the best kart racers. I like it more than even a lot of the Mario Karts. It's fantastic.
Yep. Let's see. The Last of Us Part 2 remaster is coming to PC in April. Overcooked Studios' next game is Stage Fright, published by Hello Games. That looked interesting. Onimusha: Way of the Sword.
Let's go.
Coming in 2026. So that does have a year on it.
Speaking of Capcom bringing back old IP, yeah.
Yeah.
I never was much of an Omnimusha guy too. I'd love to dive in a little.
That's what's. I hadn't thought of this until right now, but I was so excited for the Onimusha reveal, and then I am now thinking like I actually wasn't a big Onimusha guy either. I think I was just popped because I saw something old that I remember. And like, I don't think I've ever beaten an Onimusha game, but I was like, "Fuck yeah, Onimusha's back!"
Yeah, things that were around when I was young are relevant again.
Yeah, thing that I didn't particularly love back then, but now it's back.
Yes.
As someone that really
mortality seems less severe. Yay!
I like those games back in the day, so don't worry, boys.
Okay, good.
There's a lot of orbs. I like games with orbs.
Orbs are good.
Yeah.
Tons of
Orb
orbs,
guy.
tons of things to suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No
suck them
Jean
orbs.
Reno though.
Sword controller. John
Yes.
Renault.
Warframe 1999 is out this week. A new third-person Turok game, Turok Origins, is in development.
That was actually one of my favorite announcements because it's Saber, and they did good stuff. They did Space Marine 2, and it looks like they're kind of going for a similar vibe with this. And I'm like, I'm actually more interested in one of those that's Turok themed, to be honest. That sounds fantastic.
That is completely insane. Ryugu Gotoku reveals its latest game, Project Century. This is
That
RGG.
Awesome.
It looked very cool. Like
I was thinking Stranglehold at the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. Stranglehold, and then you could see the underlying technology. Be like, I'm pretty sure this is RGG, and I was pretty excited based on that. And then it's like, well, this doesn't look like one of those games necessarily. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's like, oh no, because they are going all out with this one. Very exciting.
Yeah, looks awesome.
See, Like a Dragon Studio RGG is making a new Virtua Fighter as well. They're making Virtua Fighter 6, essentially.
This is definitely Sean and I popped the hardest for this one. Yeah, this was my favorite announcement of probably the whole evening. So nostalgic for Virtua Fighter. Just back when it was one of the first big 3D games. That was the game I played on my Saturn a bunch. It just felt, it seemed so advanced at that time, but also just felt so good and still feels good every time I go back to it. I'm really excited to see what that looks like today.
That is the number one game I think of when I think of the era when like arcades are where like the real tech was. And so like at home you'd have the, shitty like Genesis versions or whatever of fighting games, but then you go to the arcade and you're like, look at Virtua Fighter. Like before Tekken, before any of that, I remember Virtua Fighter being the like future of video games.
Like Virtua Fighter came out like 94, maybe in 93. It was really early for that stuff when it was in the arcades. But seeing it actually in the arcades at that time, it just stood out like crazy.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was a huge deal. It was like a reason to go to the mall.
Yes.
Where my arcade was. Let's see here. Wargaming announced a mech game called Steel Hunters. Borderlands 4 trailer gameplay got shown. There was the Outer Worlds 2 gameplay also debuted.
It's wild that is also coming out next year when they already have Avowed coming out next year.
Yeah. So like I said during the stream, apparently what I heard is apparently this game got moved into 2025 because it was getting ready faster, and a game that they were originally planning for 2025, I don't think they ever announced it for 2025, but they were planning to put it out that year, is getting bumped. So they're like, we'll just kind of swap things around a little bit. It doesn't always work out that way, but it seemed like it worked out this way for this time.
That other game's got to either be Fable or Perfect Dark, right?
Maybe we'll see. Yeah. I was not able to confirm exactly what it was, but it was just like some game that didn't have a date for 2025 got moved out, and it was a bigger game. All right. It Takes Two Studio Hazelight's latest co-op game, Split Fiction, has officially been revealed, and that looked very awesome.
Very cool.
It looks super fun. It Takes Two is great. Like the one downside It Takes Two is some of the character story isn't amazing in it. So playing It Takes Two without the divorce, I think that sounds like a nice thing.
Yeah, and it looked like It Takes Two, as if they had dozens of ideas for everything, just all thrown in there. And like the way the gameplay co-op split was working, every 30 seconds was very different. So yeah, pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm curious because my one bigger complaint about It Takes Two was that it was too long, and it's like seeing like every time it showed like, and then there's this, and then there's this. I was like, this all looks really good, but I hope it's not 20 hours long.
Looks like it could stretch on and on for sure.
Yeah.
Ico and Shadow of the Colossus creator Fumito Ueda reveals his next game, Project Robot, which was one of these little fellas climbing a big mech and getting in its head, and then the head blasting off of the mech body. It looked awesome.
It
really
looks cool. I love Shadow of the Colossus so much, and like it seems like it has more of that energy than any of the other three, even, right? So, super excited for this one.
I've already seen people picking apart the trailer, saying like, "This robot looks just like this Colossus that you first fight here." Oh my god!
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely saw that. Yeah. I'm just excited that Ueda is still doing things, working with Epic on this one. Epic is publishing the game, is my understanding. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to PC next month. Co-op standalone game Elden Ring Night Rain announced. A new Elden Ring game.
What?
I have more details
very
about
much.
this.
Did they say co-op, or is it just like it's obvious there was always like four people?
They've said co-ops.
They
later
have
on
said
press
it
releases
separately. Yes.
Well, we will definitely play that together.
I have the story here. I'll just read this so we can know what this is. Elden Ring Night Rain can be played in 3-player co-op or single player, but not as a duo. So it's like, hey, some weirdness already.
That's
so
a little
one or
weird.
3?
Right.
Yeah,
You
1 or
can't do
3.
2. That is
Interesting.
that's strange, right?
Huh. All
Well,
right.
you know, the mod will fix that pretty fast.
Yes.
Elden Ring Night Rain announced that the Game Awards will allow for single player and 3-player co-op gameplay, but not 2-player. Game director Ishizaki confirmed this, stating that the game was designed for a 3-person team to provide a new sense of accomplishment. Enemy health will scale depending on the number of players. A network test will be held in February. In other news, there has been outside interest in Elden Ring adaptation, blah, blah, blah. Things
Now,
elsewhere.
did you come down this a little bit when at first you're like, oh, wow, Elden Ring 2, and now it's kind of more of an expand-alone experimental thing. That's still great, but maybe
part of me is like, well, I'm glad it's not Elden Ring 2 already. What would that have looked like? That's insane. Why would they be promising that? So this being an expand-alone, having a focus on co-op, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a very interesting idea. So I'm still very excited. All right, let's see here. The Witcher 4 was unveiled at the Game Awards. Going to star Ciri, as anyone could have predicted, because you played Witcher 3. Witcher 3 literally starts with her getting ready to be a Witcher. Like, that's how the intro to that game. So,
right, and it ends with, I guess there's multiple endings. At least in my ending, it was very much Geralt passing the torch to her. This is exciting. Even when it's a really well done one of these, the whole really long mini movie CG trailer thing still grates me a little bit.
Yep. Sure.
But I liked Witcher 3 a ton. I'm sure I'm going to be into this.
I just always go back to Killzone 2 in that E3 trailer. Whenever it's one of those, you know?
It's funny the things that stick with you,
Yeah,
right?
that one really stuck with me.
Killzone 2, that was the ultimate bullshot trailer.
Yeah, because I remember showing people in some college, like, look what this is going to look like. And it's like, oh, that's bullshit.
Oh, yeah, that happened on the playground for sure.
Mm-hmm. Or, Playground. That's when I saw it.
Not the dorm.
There were some other announcements, I think, before in the pre-show while we were getting set up. So I don't remember seeing all these when we were talking over everything. Sifu Studio Slow Clap announced Rematch, a 5v5 online football game. I heard good things about this.
Wait, football or soccer?
Soccer. I think it's gonna be soccer. I've heard good things about it, but again, I did not actually track this one down to take a look at it. So that sounds very interesting.
From that gang too, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. You could see how their animation priority stuff would be a cool thing to mess around with that if that's how they're gonna approach it. Thick as Thieves is the next game from Deus Ex and Thief leads studio Other Side. Other Side has been doing this stuff for a while. Yep, that looked interesting. Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound announced for summer 2025.
Wait, when were these announced?
In the pre-show, in between our countdown and the actual show.
What the fuck was Ninja Gaiden Ragebound?
It's from .emu, the team that did Streets of Rage 4, right?
So is this a side scroller?
Yes. Yeah, and it looks awesome. Yeah,
is it like
really
NES style, like the old ones?
Yeah, but I mean the visuals are going to be that .emu sort of colorful cartoon.
It's more NES than like the Xbox original style Ninja Gaidens for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh,
Blasphemous devs.
It's from the devs that did Blasphemous, and they're working with .emu.
It's going to be sweet.
Nice.
Very cool. Let's see here. There was a new Pac-Man game. Shadow Labyrinth is a sci-fi 2D action platformer. Is this a Metroidvania?
What?
I think it's a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Is this a Bomberman Act Zero?
Look,
good?
Maybe some of those vibes, yeah, but like the way we always wanted Bomberman Act Zero to be. Yeah.
Oh, this is Shoot Pac-Man?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this like, yeah. I haven't actually been able to watch this trailer. You're like a guy in a cloak who has a Pac-Man following you, kind of like a chain chomp. Ooh, this looks good. I'm excited.
This is weird.
Yeah, it kind of looks the Pac-Man in this. I don't know why, but anybody play a Pac in Time, the weird Euro platformer for SNES with Pac-Man? I have some of that vibe here. Yeah, I'm excited.
This was a really weird one, but I always like the weird Pac-Man games. And then some weird AI cat game. Dying Light: The Beast will be released in summer. Midnight Murder Club is coming to PS5 as well as Steam in early 2025. Netflix's Squid Game Unleashed will be free for everyone at launch. Helldivers 2 received a major update and a special edition DualSense controller coming soon. And then the first Berserker Kazan Beanstar's other game is coming March 2025.
That thing was having some kind of wild, like, Satan summoning activation by my hotel after the Game Awards.
Like
a lot of lights.
So much dry ice. Smoke
There's
going
so
up in the
much
air.
smoke and like PA, like dystopian loudspeaker announcements happening. At an earlier point of my career, I may have rushed over there to see what's happening. But like after Game Awards, I was just walking back. I just kind of heard it next to my hotel. I was like,
yeah,
going to bed.
Yeah, I think Bailey and I saw it, and we were hoping that it would continue going on and to the wee hours of
I was hoping it would be like right outside his window all night.
Just keeping me up.
Hear Ben Starr chanting.
Right.
Just 40-story Ben Starr, yeah.
Oh, Ben Starr's in Tekken also now.
What?
Yes, yeah.
What is the image I've been seeing of him as the Balatro Joker?
I didn't see that.
That's probably just one of his bits.
Okay, but he had like full makeup and everything. I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
We never know.
We should say on here that we were talking to Ben Starr, and the is Dan or Mike weirder debate came up, and we asked Ben Starr, and he didn't even look at me. He looked at Mike, pointed at Mike, and said, "He is weirder. He is one of the weirdest human beings I have ever met." So Ben Starr is on the Mike side.
I don't think Ben knows you very well, Dan. And also,
I mean, we're on the same shows.
you said something during this trip that had Jeff reach out to me, grab my arm, and say, "Never let me say I think that you're weirder again."
Oh, what was it?
What was
I mean,
that?
You want to hint it, or is it something we can say?
I mean, I think
could say- I'll say
this
it.
is one. Yeah, this is something we could say because it's your stuff you talked about before. Triple digits. Does that ring a bell, Dan?
Oh yeah. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, so Dan was like, "How often do you guys clog a toilet?" I think I'm in the triple digits.
For
his life.
lifetime. I'm also 40.
That's a lot.
I want to be
Way too many.
Here's my question, Dan, because triple digits could be 100. It could also be 999.
I tell you,
Which,
it's a few times a year.
That's too
not
many.
crazy.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
A few times a year.
I mean, I don't remember when the last time I did it was, but like, I'm not talking about crazy. It's spurting out on the ceiling. I'm talking about like, oh, it's just rising and you got to turn off the water and plunge
Yes,
it. Actually,
right.
it's happened a
Don't
few
you
times at
but
this house,
Several
and
times a
I've
year
only lived
doing
here
that
like a
is
year.
too much, Dan.
But Dan, don't you have a bidet?
I got several bidets.
Why are you using that much toilet paper then?
I'm a thorough
Yes.
man. I don't want to be a skid marks Paul.
I'm at like 5 lifetime.
5 lifetime.
Yeah, clogging
Yeah.
the toilet like 5
I've
to
probably
10.
done 5 in this house.
Ah.
And I'm thorough with the
Full.
bidet. I'm not shy with the bidet. I go full blast.
And then you
Sure, me too.
no, that's a spoiler for the Game of the Year podcast, so I won't mention the other thing you were extremely weird about. But yes,
You want a hint on that? I can't remember what that was. Oh,
you were just like, I am not taking part of this bit.
I thought it would be illegal.
Oh God, wait, yeah, just wait for Game of the Year, everybody.
Yeah, just wait, we'll talk about it afterward. Yeah,
I will talk about posting schedule later, folks.
yeah. Exactly. All right. Yeah, I mentioned Ben Starr's game. Capcom says it's working on reactivating other dormant IPs like Onimusha and Okami.
Activate
And I
me,
think that's
baby.
a fantastic strategy. Please do more of that. They've been saying this for a while, and it keeps working, and people get really excited about Onimusha, and, well, of course, they get excited about Okami, but they're really, everyone just like what you did, Dan, like, oh my God, it's old. I love this. I think they're like, hey, this is working for us. We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I do. What else, right? So Beautiful Joy takes a big one. Mega Man, obviously.
Killer
There's so
7.
many. Can Killer 7 come back?
I'd love it.
Right? Dark Sector, Dark Void, whatever it's called.
Piano 3.
Hell yeah.
But like, I wonder, like, is this Bionic Commando really something that they're gonna think about again, right?
Lost
and Ghosts and
Planet.
Goblins. Oh, Darkstalkers. That's right. They should definitely bring back Darkstalkers. That's
Yeah, I
right.
think
so.
Darkstalkers will be the other fighting game revival they get to. Yeah.
I want a new Final Fight very badly. Very
Play
badly.
Streetwise?
No, but maybe somebody will one of these days for some reason on this site.
It's of that caliber.
Yes, that and Bomberman X Zero.
Oh, God, I reviewed that.
Either way, hey, yeah, this is both Sega and Capcom are now doing this, and And I think they are going to probably do this for several years. This doesn't feel like a strategy that's going to blow up in their faces anytime soon. Maybe it fizzles out, but I think in the meantime we're probably going to get a lot of cool old game revivals.
So. I love that they're doing this, and meanwhile Square Enix is just like, what's a Chrono Trigger?
Yeah.
Or
even what is this Final Fantasy series that we keep making? We can't quite figure it out. All right, last couple of stories here. Sony confirms its interest in acquiring From Software parent company Kadokawa. That was like shit. That was kind of happening last week. It continues to be something that they are exploring. Basically, they'd be acquiring it for all the anime. We talked about this at some point on the show. But it just seems like they put a deal forward. This could really happen. So at that point, Sony would control the From Software team in some way, and then all of anime in the entire world, apparently. So that's
all the anime?
All the anime. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And then last thing, Xbox won't have exclusives going forward is a quote that has been pushed forward in this last week. Jez Corden claims that Xbox will not have exclusives going forward and that everything will be a timed exclusive at most. So look at Indiana Jones. They might do that with everything going forward, and it feels like that's the way they've been trending. So
yeah,
not too surprising.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Gears Emergence Day. And that'll be a big sign. Like once it happens with Halo, I think then everybody will really accept that is just every single thing now.
Yep. Satya Nadella was just out doing interviews this week, still talking about everything's an Xbox. Like they're really pushing this. So,
right. Including your
PlayStation commercial.
Yep. It's a commercial, a marketing strategy that has seemed to catch on for all the wrong ways for them. But yeah, they're going to keep pushing it. I don't think they have a choice. That does it for the news, though, Jan. I think I'm going to hand the show back over to you.
Holy smokes, I'm not ready to take it yet, so I'm just going to I'm going to need to take a quick break, and we'll be back with some emails right after this. Emails, bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send all of your fine and lovely emails to. You want to avoid an awkward social interaction, send us an email. You got a video game related question, send us an email. If you have a fun little quiz that you've come up with, send us an email. If you find a fun little newsletter, don't fucking send us an email. And I need to stop saying that because you keep sending us an email. Anyway, bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send those to. First email of the show comes from Jerry in Wisconsin. Hey, Bombers. So apparently, the Plucky Squire added a streamlined mode that cuts down some of the overt hints, dialogue, and camera pans that slowed down the pacing and made the game uninteresting. I haven't yet tried this mode, but between the Plucky Squire outright changing a large portion of their game and Star Wars Outlaws completely redesigning their stealth and early game, are we fully in the age of a game never actually being finished? I get the idea of wanting to balance gameplay or whatever, but games like Plucky and Outlaws completely revamping major portions of the game after negative feedback feels strange. Combine that with many games launching in a buggy or downright broken state. Is there even a point to playing games at launch these days? Anyways, I'll probably still check back in on both titles at some point, but it seems like part of a trend that I don't know how to feel about. Love the program and happy holidays, Jerry in Wisconsin.
I mean, yeah, we've been here for a bit. I think about Mass Effect 3 and the ending fiasco, right?
Oh, right.
And all of that getting patched out later. That was, Xbox 360 era still. It would logically be better to play every video game a year after it comes out, right? Like if you could just kind of set yourself on that schedule, that would, in theory, be better in terms of the experience you're going to get with each game. But I think for us and for people listening, we also enjoy being part of that zeitgeist. We like playing the game that everybody is talking about at the moment. For us, it's also part of our job, so we just have to do that anyways. But even if it wasn't my job, I would always want to play the new thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is if you are someone that enjoys having like this ownership over a game of like, oh no, I was there when it was like that, and now they've improved it, made it even better, and I got to be there for that as well. That can be fun, but if you are like a lot of people, like I just want to play it once and have the best experience, yeah, I think it probably does make a lot of sense to wait most of the time, and that there's nothing wrong with either way.
I think it would drive me insane to wait until launch, or I'm used to pre-launch or launch. I remember like Ocarina, I wanted so bad, and it came out in November 1998, and I was asking my grandma for it for Christmas, and I was like, all right, probably get it for Christmas. I just got to wait like 5 weeks, and that 5 weeks of hearing people at school say they were playing, and I'm like, they're playing the new Zelda, and I can't. Like, no, I got to play right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, so what? You get a slightly imperfect experience. It's more yours. I don't know.
I was doing that with Indiana Jones, right? Just everyone talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hate that I haven't played it.
But on the flip side, I don't do early access, so it's like Hades 2, everyone talks about it, and it's just like, I'm going to wait. So, yeah, I don't know. I want the 1.0 release, basically.
Okay. Next email comes from Valerie. Look, I'll admit it. I was firmly on Mike's side for the whole Liquid Death debacle. Parentheses, sorry to dredge this up again, by the way. I still think it's extremely Ed Hardy coded and a little cringy, but they just released a dead billionaire Armless Palmer iced tea, and I can't express how much that fucking rocks. I don't know about y'all, but I'm definitely gonna go pick me up some dead Billy iced tea later. Love you all, even you, Dan. Valerie.
I got a lot of people tagging me. I think they also created some kind of adult diaper situation for
diaper cover or something.
Yeah, for concerts. Which people were saying to me like, "Yeah, see, Mike, you're right. It's stupid." I'm like, "Yeah, but my real debate was that they're not treating it as a joke, and this seems to really be them leaning in to treating their whole brand as a joke." So
I don't even know if Mike is ever on Instagram, but every time I see some stupid stunt from Liquid Death, I always just DM it to him on Instagram. So,
no,
I haven't opened it in a while. You might have like 20 things sent from me.
I think I have a lot of. Apparently, my brothers have a whole group where they're sharing stuff on Instagram and have been for years, and I've never opened it. So someday I'm just gonna scroll through that entire thing and enjoy.
You never see the fun memes I send you, Mike. You never.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm not on Instagram. It seems way better than a lot of other platforms.
It's not
Make sure
even
your
that
friend Mike Mahardy, so he can send you all of his wine memes.
I actually wouldn't mind that. I might try and get that from Hardy.
Yeah.
All right. We have a fun quiz drawn up by an emailer. Thank you, Steven. Hey, Bombers. I feel Dan's recent discovery that Jesus never had corn is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Columbian Exchange that happened between the old and new worlds. Perhaps he'd like to hazard a guess at which side of the Atlantic the following originated. All the best, Steven. Now, We have an item, and there will be the origin. So old world or new world, Dan. And then
The old world is like Europe and Asia.
Old world is like old.
It's like Europe. Yeah, it'll be like Europe.
Europe, Asia, Africa. Yeah.
Eurasia. Yeah.
So across the Atlantic from us.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Apples. Oh, and then Steven also has how many years ago they were domesticated.
What does
for
that
human-
mean? They're not dogs.
You can domesticate plants.
Yes,
No, you can't. They don't run away. They don't eat you like wolves.
But you can like
Definitely.
grow them in a specific area.
Yes, like the corn used to be maize, and which was, and then early maize was very rocky, and human teeth could not eat it, and we had to,
Corn was rocky, like
It was
nerds?
hard. It used to be
was like
harder,
nerds,
so-
blizzards.
the kernels
So-
used to be rock hard.
Yeah, so we domesticated it by favoring to plant the
the
softer
word.
kernels. And
That can't be the word. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now we have
so
10
basically
of
when they were
these.
invented.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we have
The
10 of
Atlantic
these,
part is
all right?
more important. What old world, new world?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Apples.
First I heard of him was Johnny Appleseed, so we'll say New World 1800s.
Old world, Central Asia, domesticated 4,000 to 10,000 years
In the
ago.
Bible.
Apples are in the Bible?
Adam and Eve.
Oh fuck!
Now-
the first thing. Yeah.
The first thing.
I forgot about that.
It's like the first object.
Yeah, it was like snakes and apples were all we
Yeah.
had, and like big leaves. Put on your dick.
We should have kept them there. We shouldn't have brought those over.
Big
Hey,
leaves.
Yeah, big leaves for your dick and vagina
All right.
and boobs.
No, that was the arm covering for your boobs.
Oh right.
Chickens.
Cavemen. New World?
Old world, Southeast Asia, domesticated 8,000 years ago.
I was thinking, because like when I think of cavemen, I think of North America, because you always hear like when you're in like growing up in Kansas, like, oh, they used to find T-Rex
Yeah, but-
fossils here and stuff.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah,
Do you think that cavemen and dinosaurs lived with each other at the
No,
same time?
I know that. I know that didn't happen.
Okay.
I know that. Yes, that did not
Okay,
happen.
but-
Joe and Mac was not a shoot.
Okay, I feel like you're not understanding. Okay, the New World just means after the United States was
Jesus.
discovered
But
by
America
Europeans.
existed even if we didn't come over
Right.
yet.
So, but we're talking about Old World, New World is just from the perspective of the people that lived in Europe, and so was it before they discovered America or not?
No,
So
that's
you
not
can't,
what
you can't say caveman and New World. That's not what's happening.
But there
here.
were cavemen in the New World,
Yes, but what does that have to do with what we're talking about?
because what if they found chickens?
And
Well-
it would have been Old World because those. Okay, I see what you're saying, but that's not like we're just talking about from the perspective of Europeans.
Yes. So Dan,
But those
Yeah.
cavemen weren't thinking about Europe. They were just like, holy shit, chickens.
I still associate cavemen because that's usually like Neanderthals. That's usually more of a Europe thing, actually.
Is that a
Yeah,
Pangea?
No.
There would be
Not a
older.
Pangea.
There's older
There were
fossils
European
in
cavemen?
Africa and Eurasia.
Yeah,
yes.
most of those cave paintings you see are from Europe.
Okay.
so Dan, keep in mind, New World refers to North America, South America, and the Caribbean.
Okay.
All right. Chili peppers.
Old World 1200.
New World to modern day Peru and Bolivia, 9,500 years ago. Cocoa
Okay,
beans.
I wasn't that far off then. Cocoa leaves?
Cocoa beans.
Cocoa beans. Germany, 1935.
Dan, if you paid attention to that museum, you would have said New World, modern day Ecuador, 5,300 years
Shit.
ago. Okay.
And then we just
Yeah,
sent them
Jesus
back
never
over
had
the ocean?
chocolate. Jesus never had chocolate, Dan? Does that bother you?
I buy that more than him never eating corn.
Well, they're both true.
What about the
Jesus
Easter Bunny?
seemed like one of those like those like Instagram people that are all about just like eating like raw stuff and veggies and things. I think Jesus is like one of those, and so I bet he's like chocolate's unhealthy and he's just like eating fish and bread.
Yeah, Jesus
Oh, well,
was
yeah.
an Instagram influencer for sure.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He had a sourdough starter and everything.
If he came back, he would have a very popular account probably.
Oh, sure. Right there with Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're going to speaking tour together with Adam Carolla.
oh my god.
The all wheat diet. Jesus loves it.
The Jesus Christ experience.
Yeah.
Number 5, coffee.
That's cocoa beans.
No, coffee
No.
is like coffee beans.
Coffee beans.
I don't know why I thought from the wait, Chocolate Museum was not talking about coffee at all?
No.
So it's different beans?
Different beans.
Yes.
But they look similar.
Similar process, different beans.
So it's not a thing where it's like beans.
Triple digits.
It's not a thing where like beans are up here in it's like umbrella thing where it's like if you do this to the beans, it's chocolate. If you do this to the beans, it's pinto. If you do this to the beans, it's
No.
cocoa.
They're different.
It's
strains.
Different beans. It's not
It's
all
like
the same bean.
They're like different phylums.
Sure.
Different genus, perhaps.
Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
Old world or new world?
Coffee, old world, or new world.
You think Jesus had coffee?
No, he's probably like anti-caffeine.
Well, I mean, Jehovah's Witness, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Old world, 200 BC.
Dan, you don't have to say the years. You could just say old world or new world.
Oh, I thought there were two things I was supposed to say.
No, Stephen just provided the year.
I
range
see.
as
We'll
well.
say old world.
You're correct. Old world. Found in Yemen, the 15th century. Number
Yeah.
6.
I might have guessed New World on that one. I would have looked at damn fool.
Yes,
You
me
look like
too.
an
I think I
idiot.
would have guessed new.
I
Yeah.
would have said new world as well. Horses.
We've always had horses. What are you talking about?
Old world or new world?
Old world. All
You're
the
right.
wars were on horses.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, all right.
Eurasian
It's not Braveheart.
steppes, 5,500 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
We domesticated them. Yep. And brought them everywhere.
That's
The
crazy.
Mongolians.
I bet the first horses were so pissed when we were trying to ride them.
Very
Yeah.
pissed. Oats.
Oats is just ground and seeds, like old.
Like ground? What do you mean by ground?
There's not like an oat plant. It's just like sandy, weedy ground, right?
All right, you're right. Old world. The Jordan
But he
Valley.
wasn't right about about it
I
there
know,
not being
I
oat
know, I know,
plants.
I know,
I just like it's careful where you say that.
There's a couple short. There's a couple more here, folks. I don't want to be here all day. Dan, any guesstimation as to how many years ago?
Oats?
Yes, it's in the thousands
10,000.
range.
It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of technology involved with oats. I'll say 10,000 years ago.
11,000.
Not bad. Wow. Pretty good. Dan.
Oh, my
Dan,
oats.
be real proud of yourself for this whole oats segment.
No, my oats.
Dan,
Yeah.
potatoes.
That had to be like the first food. It's like saber-tooth tigers and potatoes as a side. Had to be like the first dinner.
I'll have a number one, please. No, it is New World, Dan.
Shit. Okay.
Around, and I'm gonna judge everyone on this podcast if they laugh at this. Found around Lake
Titicaca.
Titicaca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Peru and Bolivia, domesticated 7 to 10,000 years ago.
Domesticate a potato.
You sure can.
Yep.
You fucking can't.
What do you think domestication- what do you think that
Yeah,
means?
I love that Planet Earth episode where all those potatoes in the wild are hunting elk or whatever they do.
Domesticating doesn't mean like, taming an animal in a video game. You go and go shh for a while.
It means you
It's
took a wolf,
That's the
snarling
Chris
at you.
Pratt,
No.
the arms out thing.
It's
to
a process of
tree.
selective breeding.
No, it's you take
so
a
that-
wolf that's snarling at you and wants to kill you, and then you turn it into Gizmo.
So the way we we did that by picking the wolves that weren't snarling at us and encouraging them to breed and keeping those ones
And then we
around.
picked the potatoes that were edible and wouldn't poison us. It's the same thing.
Potatoes aren't poison, you fool.
They
Not
used
anymore.
To be, they used to be poisonous. All right, two more.
I'm not falling for it.
Tobacco.
Tobacco? What's the first person I ever saw smoking? Like James Dean, New World 1930s.
I mean, New World 3,400 years ago.
Mostly right.
James Dean was the first smoker.
I mean, I couldn't think of someone before James Dean smoking.
And last one, tomatoes.
Old World, Spain.
New World, South America, 7,000 years ago.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen, for this lovely quiz. Thank you for doing all this work. We got one more email to end the year, boys.
I bet tomatoes came to Spain.
Well, they eventually went to Europe, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That was right.
Not really, but no. Matt writes in, I'm sending this because I feel the Bombcast is a safe space for people to share. I was super duper high watching you guys TGA talk over stream, and when they played the Belatra music in the orchestral tribute, I cried like Matthew McConaughey in that scene in Interstellar where he gets 30 years of messages from his kids. Love you, Matt.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it. And folks, that does it for this week's and the rest of this year's Giant Bombcast. Holy smokes. What a fucking year it's been, boys.
Yeah, good job.
Really has
Good job all around. Wow, just happy memories. I get sad when I wake up on a Tuesday and I can't podcast with you boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
weird.
it's a good time.
Yeah, I have fun chatting with y'all and chatting
Yeah,
with these
likewise.
people watching at home.
Yeah, it was a good year of podcasts, and that doesn't mean there's nothing coming out in the feed, right? Do you want to talk about that now, or are we saving that?
Yeah, so for folks that may have missed Giant Bomb at Night, we're going to cut those out. We're going to put those on the GB Presents feed. We're also going to put them here on the Giant Bombcast feed as well. And also, folks, get your peepers peeped. We are going to be releasing day 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our Game of the Year deliberations this year over the holiday break. Grub, you and I have been loosely talking about starting the rollout next Tuesday, December 24th, and then day 2 dropping on December 26th, day 3 on December 31st, and then the final day, day 4, on January 2nd.
Yep. So Tuesday and Thursday for the next 2 weeks, we'll have the Game of the Year podcast all 4 days. They're beefy episodes. There's a lot there, everybody. So enjoy that over the 2 holiday weeks.
We also shouts out to Marino and Grub for coordinating this effort, but we will also have guest lists popping out as well as staff lists popping out over the holiday break as well. Look forward to your usual fare and some new faces writing lists for the website. It's one of my favorite things we do over the year. Also, we're going to start a Blight Club, hopefully, right?
This week,
Yeah.
You said 5 items. Is it 5 clothing items or 5 including the game?
Okay, there'll be that. I think it's 5 including the game. Because there should be that, there should be this, there should be that, and then so there should be 4 clothing items. Yeah.
I've got a prediction for the one I'm missing is based on the clear bags they sent me. I was like, I think I know where they're going, and I think I know what the last little piece of the puzzle might be.
That's the most exciting part then. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Someone in chat said term Danator, and that's so terrible to say. I think it's got to be what we go
so
with.
bad.
Term Danator.
Term Danator.
Yeah.
I can say it out loud and tell you. Oh man. Okay.
Dananator.
Yeah.
Stay
tuned because it might be a Friday Blight Club situation because I got to wait on the game and the last piece of the outfit, and then we'll get all set up. I'll get the I need to get the art and everything, so almost certainly not tomorrow, but maybe by Friday we could do that as a final thing for the year.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have time to shoot and cut together a fun, stupid little intro as well.
You need anything from me? I got a green screen.
Once you get those items in, Danny boy, well, let's do the first episode, and then the subsequent episodes we'll figure out an intro.
Well, yeah, because I guess it doesn't matter if I see this stuff because this is a rare time where I know what the game is because of Alex Navarro going. I know it's
the
Terminator.
Costume pieces are fun, at least.
Sure. Yeah, if you want me to shoot something, I can do it. If you want me to wait to put it on, I can.
Record of the Machines isn't bad. Yeah,
that's good. Grub, do you think Game Mess for the rest of this week at least?
Yep, that's right. For the rest of this week. So come hang out with us for Game Mess for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
We'll have a voicemail dump truck for sure popping off on Thursday. Looks like a Friday Blight if the forecast looks right. And perhaps we'll squeeze in another stream tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some Marvel Rivals. Maybe we'll squeeze in some other things. But folks, thank you so much for joining us this week on the episode of the Giant Bombcast. Thank you for joining us if you tuned in for Giant Bomb at Night and the countdown to the Game Awards stream. Lots and lots of fun. We love the support. Thank you so much for showing up for us. We love you at home. Thank you, everyone, for a lovely year. So much love all around the room. So much friendship. He's been Mike. He's been Dan. He's been Grub. I've been Jan. You have been absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for letting us into your ear holes
consensually letting us bless you with video game knowledge darts straight into your brain. I'm gonna go lose my voice now. I'm gonna paint the black now.